It has been a number of months and a Christmas season since the last book haul, so we have some very exciting books to talk about. Jumping straight into it, we have Performances of a Death Metal Bard by Rob Lee. And first of all, look at that cover art. Stunning. I did read part of an early draft of this because I am friends with Rob. So the really cool thing about this is I am in the acknowledgements page. And what's really cool is he made it look like a gig sort of act with all the headliners and all the different bands playing, which I think is such a cool design because the whole idea of this book is the invention of death metal in this sort of medieval fantasy setting with this animate Nightblood-esque loot. And it's super, super cool. Next on up, I got the second and third book in the Bound in the Broken series by Ryan Cahill. I already had book 1, and I have already read book 2, but I did read the arc of book 2, so I finished this a long time ago, and I have been putting off book 3 because, I mean, look at it, it's an absolute brick. It's absolutely huge. However, the reviews have been incredible. I really like the series. The novellas are fantastic too, and I will get them eventually. But I'm very much looking forward to continuing on with this series, and now I can do so because I have the hardcover. I did already have the ebook, and I'll probably end up buying the audiobook as well, as I usually do with really, really long books like this, just to help kind of reading the pages. And the third book gets some incredible ratings. The reviews for this book have been absolutely amazing, so I really need to get to it. It's just, oh man, it's finding the time to fit this in is insane. However, really enjoyed the series, so I will find time to read this. And they are signed as well. I got these signed editions from Broken Binding. Next on up, I got Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon by Matt Dinniman. This is the author of Dungeon Crawler Carl, a series that I quite enjoy, and I've mentioned quite a lot on this channel, and I've enjoyed it so much I really want to go back into Matt Dinniman's bibliography and check out some of his other work, so I got Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon to read after the inevitable ruin. I don't actually know very much about this. I did put it up on my story when I got it for Christmas, and I got lots of people saying it's not that much like Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's a lot darker and bloodier and gorier. I'm into it. Let's kill some monsters or save people from monsters. I assume we're in the perspective of a battlefield surgeon in a sort of kaiju-ridden world is my guess. But again, I know nothing about it. I just trust Matt. But I do really like the cover, and he always has insane imagination for some of the situations that happen in Dungeon Crawler Carl. So I assume this will be as wacky and out there and bizarre. So very much looking forward to that. If you've read it, I'd be very interested to hear more about it. If not, I might try and bully the book club into reading it with me. We'll see. Next one up, I've already shown this book in many videos because as I talk about it, but I did get Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. Already halfway through this, really, really enjoying it. I did also get the US edition. I knew that this would turn up much later, so I got the UK edition, and I've been reading that, but I did get the US edition to match my other US covers. I must say, this is probably one of my favorite of the UK covers for the Brandon Sanderson Stormlight series, but nothing beats the Michael Whalen US covers. They're just absolutely stunning, so I had to grab that. This is one of the signed and numbered editions as well, which is really cool. Number 9676, which did also come with a chull. So I now have a chull, which is pretty cool. However, a mini tangent talking about Michael Whalen, I do get a lot of questions about what these books on my bookshelf are with the Roman numerals at the top. This is Stormlight series. It is some custom jackets from a company called Kraken Co. But I don't think that Kraken are running. I don't think they're a business anymore. I think they have shut down. They've not said that they've shut down, but they've just kind of went radio silence for over a year, and they had another set coming up for Greenbone Saga, and it didn't happen, so I assume we're not going to get book 5 with this same jacket, so I might end up taking these off And just going back to the classic Michael Whalen covers, so Wind and Truth can match. It's a shame, because these spines look really, really cool. I really like how they turn out. Next on up, I was sent an Ark of the Devils by Joe Abercrombie, which I am so excited about. So I just got an interesting parcel, and I thought it might be best to open it on camera. I wonder what this could be. Interesting. Okay. Very interested. I must say the box is really cool. The fact that it's all designed around a certain new book coming out. Okay. This is like a proper PR box. This is really cool. I've not had one of these before. Nice. We have some art cards. Now, they have been sharing these online, and these are going to be pieces of art that are in the standard book. So not even like a special edition. It is just the art that's in the book. And they are some falling. And they are some beautiful pieces by Joel Daniel Phillips as the artist. We have a scroll of some kind. I feel like I need to be very careful with this. Whew. Oh, okay. Is a print of the map. Very cool. The holy city, Troy. Ooh, okay, we have one more thing and then the book itself. Let's have a look. What in the world is this? Oh, wait. Is this a candle? It is. It is a candle. Oh, that's really cool. And it's got one of the pieces of art that is in the book on the candle itself. Beautiful. My sense of smell is terrible, but it smells nice though. And of course, perhaps the most exciting thing is the Ark itself for the Devils. Welcome to the Devils. Joe Abercrombie. 6 of 36. I did not realize there were so few of these. Jeez. Signed as well? Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. Insane. I am so excited to jump into this. I cannot wait. Oh, I missed something. There's also a pin for the skull on the UK full cover. And there was a bunch of red paper that just could also be a dashing wig, if you so wanted to go down that route. But I will read this and get my thoughts out before the book comes out in May. But just so you know, The Devils releasing in May 2025. Very, very excited for this. Very much looking forward to it. Some solid floppage too. That's what we like to see. Thank you so much, Galans, for sending this over. I have never had a PR package like this before. This is really cool. It's something a wee bit different. I was also kindly sent another Ark, A Palace Near the Wind. And this is from the same author that did the short story I Am AI, as well as a bunch of other short stories as well, but that's the one I read and I really, really enjoyed. I did talk about it on the channel, so I'm very excited to check this out. This is also a novella, so it's pretty short. But the thing that really impressed me with I Am AI is how much the author managed to pack into such a short period of time. And that was a short story, and this is longer. This is a novella, so I'm looking forward to see some of her amazing ideas and fabulous imagination expanded into a larger story. And she's also doing a full novel soon as well, so very excited for that as well. But I will talk about this before it releases in April. Next on up, I was very kindly sent Ludic and the Runaway Mountain by John Ilho. And just look at that cover. This is by the amazing Jeff Brown, the cover, not the book. The author is John Ilho. But the art is by Jeff Brown, who I've talked about a lot on this channel. Incredible artist, and this is just another one of his amazing pieces, which was really eye-catching and what drew me to this book in the first place. But this sounds really interesting. I don't know that much about this story. I kind of want to go into this one fairly blind, but I will read this short sentence here. With an earth-shattering thunder of a runaway mountain. The mountain destroyed everything I've ever known. My village, my friends, my family, all gone. I don't care why it ran. I'll make sure it never moves again. So, I don't really know if the mountain is a real thing that can move and destroy villages, but that just sounds absolutely fascinating. I'm interested to see how that ties into a narrative. Next one up, I got the Kickstarter edition of Kingdom of Dragons by Jed Hearn. Now, Jed does run a YouTube channel giving writing advice, and I am good friends with Jed. I have edited a number of his videos, but I've never read any of his books. So when he was running a Kickstarter for Kingdom of Dragons, his newest release, I had to back it and check this one out. It's dragons. Who doesn't love dragons? Really cool cover and a bunch of interior art as well. This is a classic dragon riding fantasy with this castle in the sky, dual POV, and a dragon riding school. What more can you want? I mean, you can't go wrong with a dragon fantasy book. I kind of want to make a shelf on my bookcase just for dragon fantasy books. Think that would look really, really cool, but we'll see. Next on up, we have A Time of Dragons in the Shadow of Kings. This is the second book in the A Time of Dragons series, the first being Once They Were Heroes. Now, these books are beautiful. These books are absolutely beautiful with stunning artwork on the covers. I love the sprayed edges. The first one has a dragon, the second one has this focus of a bird. Even the naked hardbacks have these really nice simplistic designs that I think look really, really nice. And these are from Broken Binding, so you can still pick up these really pretty editions of this book over there. I will leave it linked in the description below. The first book just came out last year, but the reviews have been absolutely amazing, so I'm trying to decide if I start with this series or Philip's other work, The Echo Saga. The upside to The Echo Saga is it's finished, and there's 9 books in total. However, the downside is it's finished and there's 9 books. It's a lot of books. If I read this, it means I can catch up and join in. But I don't know. We'll see. I really want to read Philip's work this year, so hold me to it. Next up, I also grabbed the new Anthony Ryan book, the Broken Binding edition, A Tide of Black Steel, which is just an awesome title. Anthony Ryan is a terrific and very prolific author, and I have not read enough of his work. I really need to read more of his work. However, I do want to read the Pariah trilogy. I think it's called The Covenant of Steel. I really want to read that trilogy because I do already own it. However, as soon as I saw this beautiful edition from Broken Binding with these really cool sprayed edges and the naked hardback having the axe as well looks really, really cool, I knew I'd have to snag a copy for reading later on. So if you have read this, let me know. Also, have you read any of Anthony Ryan's other work? I'd be very interested to hear what you think. He's one of those names that gets amazing reviews, but I don't see enough people talking about him. Next on up, I got a copy of A Hero Born. Again, the Broken Binding edition, where the cover carries onto the sprayed edges, which just looks really, really cool. I think the very minimalist design on the cover really stands out. It makes it pop with the bright colors involved, and also the minimalist naked hardback looks really, really nice. But a little about this book, I did buy the paperback a while back, and I mentioned wanting to read it on the channel because this is often referred to as the Chinese Lord of the Rings. I have heard there's some complaints with the translation, but from who I've spoken to about that, I do hear that it's more an issue if you have read the original in Mandarin and you want to read the English edition afterwards. It's not a completely accurate translation, but if you're just going into just this version, then I hear a lot of people have a really good time with it. That's what I've heard. I've not read it yet. I don't speak Mandarin. However, checking out more translated work really sounds interesting to me, and what better place to start than a book that is compared to Lord of the Rings. Very, very excited to read this one. I know a couple people are reading this over on the Discord, which you can join in the description below. So I'll be interested to see what they think of this. I've not got time to fit this into my January TBR when they're reading it. However, I'm very interested to see those who do read it, what their opinion is on it, because I'm very excited about checking this one out. Next on up, The Dark Forest, the second book in the 3 Body Problem trilogy came in. This is part of the Broken Binding sci-fi subscription. Now, the 3 Body Problem, this is one of my favorite covers of all time. And I will say that this second cover is beautiful as well. I still prefer that first one, mainly because of the colors are just stunning. But I love the sprayed edges on both of these books. They're just so colorful without being gaudy. And I'm always worried when you get too colorful, too saturated, that it just looks far too much. But this is just perfect use of color in my eyes. I think they did a terrific job, Patrick on the art direction and Jeff Brown on the cover, really designing these books for this sci-fi series. And I do believe that the Mandarin symbols on the cover do hold reference to something to do with the narrative. I remember Patrick saying something about it, and my mind is going completely blank on what it was, but I do believe that that is tied to the narrative, and it does have some significance to the story, which is really, really cool. And last but not least, we have the 2 books for the 3rd book in the Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn trilogy, called To Green Angel Tower. Nailed it. Okay, here we go. Let's look at the books. These are... I don't know if these are meant to be bound up as one book, but they just don't fit. So it is books 3 and 4, or if technically this is book 3, they've just split it over 2. Because they both have the To Green Angel Tower title, but this one's called Siege, and this one is called Storm. So I don't know if it's 2 parts of the same novel, just separated because of how long it is, but that doesn't matter. These are absolutely stunning. This artwork, again, done by the amazing Jeff Brown. Beautiful artwork on both of these, and I love the swords on the sprayed edges. That is super cool. And the beautiful minimalist hardcovers as well. This is a series I've been wanting to read for a while, so now that I have copies, I am super excited to finally read them. They are classic. Tad Williams is a titan in the fantasy space, and his books are one of the huge books in sort of the classic fantasy time as well, so I'm very excited. I've heard amazing things about his work, especially his prose and his character work across series. Andrew from the future here. I'm just hopping in because I got this beautiful parcel that I have to include in this video. First of all, look how beautiful this is. It's got this really cool sticker for the name of the book, Servant of Rage. And then we have this beautiful wax sealed bookmark with my name on it. That's really cool. I almost don't want to open this because it looks so nice. It's got my little name on it. Oh, it's hardcover. Hardcover arcs are very rare. Most people just do paperbacks for arcs, but that's really cool. Kill an heir, claim their magic. Servant of Rage, coming March 11th, 2025. By Alex Knight, and it is signed. So thank you so much, Alex, for sending this over. This is a new fantasy series from this author, and it has cultivation and progression like elements, which was kind of the thing that drew me to this, because that is a subgenre that I've only dabbled my little toes in, whatever that is. But I really want to try more of it out, so this is very exciting. So Servant of Rage is coming out March 11th, and that is the final cover. That's what the final edition looks like, which is rather cool. And I've got this little sticker of it. Again, thank you very much, Alex. This was very kind of you to send over. I also did get one other book that I'm going to throw on in this clip as well, that I'm adding in the middle of the video, which is Batman Year One. This is a comic, and I have not read comics since I was a kid, but we were talking about comics over on my Discord, which you can join, link in the description. And we kind of started up this buddy read of this book in the month of January. So I thought, okay, I'm up for it. Let's try it. So I will be reading this in January as well, which will be a ton of fun because, like I said, I've not read comics since I was a kid. So it'll be fun to go back to this medium now as an adult and see what I think. And what better place to start with than the Caped Crusader himself, the man of bats. I'll give you back to past Andrew now to finish the video. So those are all the books I got in the last 3 or 4 months. Let me know if you have read any of these books and which ones should I prioritize. Thank you very much for watching. I was also meant to show you the Black Mantle arc, the sequel to Harbinger of Justice. I have arcs, but I sent them all out before I shot this video and I completely forgot to keep one. I'm a professional.